My name is Tamara Wellons. I'm a singer and songwriter from Prince George's County, Maryland, by way of Southampton County, Virginia. Always got to throw that in there.
Yes.
I'm an R&B singer, arts and health innovator, and owner of Her Dreams Productions. And I'm sitting here today with Deborah Bond. We're gonna just talk because this is my sister, and we've been in this music world for a very long time, almost 20. We don't need to put the years on it. I mean, we just been around for a minute,
2020.
couple decades, But I wanted to talk to you, Deborah, because you are really a gateway artist. You've been living in the Mount Rainier area for a very long time, and you're just doing some wonderful things. You're president of the Recording Academy, and I just wanted to hear you talk a little bit about your journey, your story. We're talking about music business, but in my eye, it is business, and then there's community.
Yes.
And I wanted to pull you in to talk about this because you have built a life of music as a career, as an artist, national, international, and you're right here in this county doing amazing.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, how did you? What? Tell me about a little bit about your beginnings.
Of the
Like in
beginning.
this area.
Yes. Well, I spent quite a the crazy thing is I spent quite a bit of time in Montgomery County, and life makes changes, life shifts happen, and I ended up through another artist, actually, shout out to Kenny Wesley. I ended up hearing that there were some openings for some places to live in PG, and uh once I stepped foot into the area, into the neighborhood, I absolutely loved it and have been in Hyattsville for quite some time now. And what I love about the area is that it's my particular neighborhood, it feels like a neighborhood. It feels like a community. There are families and children and schools, and it's just a very welcoming vibe. I've had neighbors bring by fruit and vegetables from the local markets that provide for the community, and there are a lot of people who are creatives in my area, and I've just enjoyed it. I've had a good time living in the NPG, and now I'm just wanting to stick around for as long as I can. I'm enjoying it.
That is so awesome. It's nothing like living in a community where you feel like it's home. And you
Yes.
travel like you're a touring artist. So
Yes.
like from when you're going from like all of these other places from London to Japan. Can you talk about a little bit about how your journey to being a touring artist started too?
Wow, it started quite a while ago, and I'm not afraid to say it because I enjoy being moving into my really midlife, my middle adulthood. But I'm originally from New Haven, Connecticut, and I moved to DC in the 90s and fell in love with just the DMV in general, and just fell in love with how, from the outside looking in, you would think that it's more of a political city, but there's so many artists, so many musicians, so many creatives, and I happen to just from the fact that I'm just a very outgoing personality and I like to meet people and chat people up about what they're doing. I met some incredible musicians and um, uh, ended up making my debut albums with them and just dreaming the dream that artists have in inside of themselves, just wanting to see yourself on those stages, and going from you're in your living room or in your bedroom with your comb to the stages. The
Right.
musicians in the DMV really helped open that door for me. And so once I released my first album, Day After, shout out to Third Logic, which is Kennard Cherry, Funky Chuck Evans, and Robbie McDonald. Those three musicians really helped me hear my own voice and find myself. And um, we were so ambitious, when we started out, that we took any opportunity to be on the stage as an opportunity to grow and learn and just discover who we are. And we had a beautiful journey together in my beginning of my artistry, really just tapping into finding who I am. They helped nurture that in me. And so we released some albums. Uh, when we began our journey, we were in a time when VH1 Soul and BET Jazz was a big thing. And so we were blessed enough to collaborate with some independent filmmakers, and
Mhm.
we made some music videos. And because at that time, an independent artist getting a video on national television was such a big thing, that once we were able to accomplish that, the
Yeah.
doors just opened to the stages.
Yeah.
And one thing kind of led to another. And the next thing you know, we're getting invited to London to Jazz Cafe,
Yeah.
and we're touring the UK together.
Yeah.
And it's just been, from that point on, it's been phenomenal, because as much as I love being in the DMV, it's a big world out there, and there are so many new ears to the music, folks that have never heard of what we do.
Yeah.
And going to Jazz Cafe, I believe we were there in 2012 or 2013.
Mhm.
Being there and experiencing a completely different culture,
Yeah.
loving the music, enjoying the music, that just was mind blowing to me, because I also went to American University in Washington, D.C., and it is known to be an international school. And
Yeah.
so my roommate for my freshman and sophomore year was from Japan. I had friends from Poland, from South Africa, from Jamaica. So I felt like I was already groomed to take on different cultures and be
Yeah.
open to other worlds. And so when we started to travel as a group, it was like I felt at home being in these distant lands, distant places,
Yeah.
and seeing how music is such a universal language, and
Yeah.
how no matter where you go, even going to Japan, I spent two different time periods in the Middle East, in Doha, Qatar.
That's right.
It's a universal language. The music resonates.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you are. It
Yeah.
feels good to people. So it
Yeah.
is my love and passion.
You said one word that made me think about this is to me, this it describes you. You're a collaborator.
Yes.
And you have would you say that being in collaboration has led to the success of your career?
Yes.
And I know like you, so I want you to answer that question and elaborate
Yeah.
on that. But I've had um I've been able to be a witness to your journey because, I was on my journey as well. And every
Yes.
time I would see you, I would just be so amazed at all the things that you're accomplishing. You're doing like you're giving of your service, to the Recording Academy and to other and
Mhm.
being a mentor for people.
Mhm.
You're like every time I turn around, you are working. And I
Collaborate.
yeah,
Well,
it's a
here's
beautiful.
I mean, honestly, a nod to you. You were one of the first artists that I actually witnessed collaborating, because when I put out my first album, the companion to that album was my remix album.
Mhm.
And I, as much as I was a big, I'm a big R&B soul person, I'm also a big house music person.
Yeah.
And you were one of the first artists that I saw collaborating with, like Osunlade, and like I,
Mhm.
that tapped into me. That showed me that, wow, there are people out here that are outside of our community, outside of our neighborhoods in our
Yeah.
city, that are willing to just tap in and do collaborations. So through you and through several artists around me when I began my journey, it gave me the courage and the excitement to try to get remixes and try to, that the remixes really was the beginning of my collaborative efforts, was starting with house music and putting out a remix album. So, and honestly, my personality is such a people person. I'm
Yeah.
from a really big family, and so I'm so used to personalities and people, and
Yeah.
uh, trying to figure out your story. And I also studied journalism in school. I studied journalism as a major and vocal performance as a minor. So as a journalism student, you're always going to want to get the story. The
Right,
story is the root of being a journalist. And
right.
so the story of other human beings, speaking to people and understanding
Mhm.
where they came from and how they did things
Yes,
has
I
always
forgot
just
that that
been
was
cool to me.
I forgot that was a part of your journey as well, being in.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it still taps into this day,
Yeah,
as to why I feel comfortable collaborating, because as a journalist, you have to be able to ask the questions. You have to be able to pick someone's brain
yes,
and get to know who they are just as much as, and then find out how it relates to you.
right.
So,
Yeah.
all of that has just guided me on the journey so far. Yeah.
Now I know that we have the music as a creator, like what you're doing right now. You're fresh. You're in creative mode right now.
Right now, and
Have a
right in this very
single coming
moment.
out. You are doing these things on the creative side, and then how is that filtered into your business? Like,
Ooh, ooh.
yeah, how does that work?
That is another, that is one of the most important collaborative journeys that any artist can have, is the
Yeah.
business side of things. And I'm very thankful that when I started everything off with Third Logic, that we were so hungry to learn about the business,
Mhm.
to learn about how to invest in ourselves.
Mhm.
We all had day jobs while we were doing the music on the side. So
Glad you
it
said that because a lot of people need to hear that. It's okay.
it's okay. It is okay. And
Yes,
it's
be
actually,
together.
when you're young, it's good because you have the energy to balance it. I don't care what any young person says. If you are in your 20s and you can't work a day job and gig at night, you need to take some vitamins or something, because we were working day, rehearsing by night, performing by night, dreaming up our music by night. But in addition to that, we we were secure in our finances with our jobs, that we could take our revenue from our performances and invest it in ourselves. And that was really a teaching tool for me, to
Hmm.
learn how to create an LLC, to
Yes,
learn how to fuel funds into a central place, to learn how to split funds, to learn
yes,
how to make sure that you sign up with your performance right organizations, and make sure that everyone properly gets their royalty splits.
yeah.
I learned that very early on, really thankfully to being with these three musicians that I was collaborating with. We were all very serious about that.
I love
And so it it helped prevent um, things that have seen some of the major artists go through, where there's some litigations and things that, because, oh, I wrote this song and you didn't give me credit. We didn't have those problems because we were able to flesh it out at a young age, and really
this.
discuss who deserves what, who gets what chunk of what, how
That's
do
so
we split
wise.
these things.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, for any artist. And the other one important thing I will say is that I am really big on learning about those before me. So I would read a lot of autobiographies of artists that I loved. I would watch a lot of documentaries. And one of the most consistent things that would come up is that some of these legacy artists that we love and adore were broke because they didn't do proper business.
Right.
And so that was a little tap on the shoulder, like, don't let that go. Don't slide with that, even though you want to put the beautiful music out and the beautiful music videos. Don't forget to do your business, because there have been people who don't know how to read over contracts or get someone to properly review them. And people have lost out on a lot of what could help them sustain their living. So I tell anybody I mentor, jump on the business side just as much as you are on the creative side.
That's right. That's so important.
Hmm.
I mean, you are able to continue to work. I mean, it's like you build what you can in your 20s,
Yep.
the day job and doing whatever you need to do, but it builds momentum so that when you don't have to always rely on that, as you get older, and
Yes.
you can expand some of the things
Yes.
you want to do. Because I think
Yes.
for an artist, like some of the most, for me, it's most important for me to like have my time, have my schedule the way I would like, manage it the way I want to. You
Yes.
know, it's
Yes.
nice to have consistency in some things. I'm learning
Mhm.
that, but also I like to be able to wake up and say Mondays, this is my day for dreaming. You know, like
Say it
Fridays
again.
I'm doing
This is my day for dreaming. That's beautiful.
yeah,
That that line, that phrase,
right.
like that's a mantra. This is my day for dreaming.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, we're visionaries, so we need to have that time and that space to
Mhm.
dream
Mhm.
up things and
Yeah.
to see what the picture is going to be. I imagine you might do that sometimes when you're traveling or on the airplane, and just like, oh, you get to just be in
I'm
a
in the world of imagination. I think that's something that you and I have in common, especially with a company that is titled Her Dreams,
right.
because that is something that I feel like if you let go of that, you are
Mhm.
going to let go of a lot of other things in the midst of that. Like
Yeah,
if you don't dream, and I mean in the childhood innocent sense
yeah,
of it, where you're just dreaming of what would it be like if I did this, or what
right.
would the audience be like when I go to Japan, or what would the what's the smell in the air gonna be like?
Mm,
That kind of a thing. Like
yeah,
if you let go of that,
yeah,
it can really just deteriorate your artistic existence. And so like you were saying, it's really important to have your business as much in check as you can, so that you're not chasing the bucks and chasing all of the things that you didn't handle your business right, so that you let go of your dreaming part of yourself.
right.
There has to be that balance,
It
to
really
in my opinion, of like your innocent, fresh, clear, dreamy fascination self with your, okay, while I'm dreaming of this, I'm going to make sure these things are in line, so that I
Mhm.
don't have to focus only on this and I forget about the dream part of it.
Right, right, right. It's almost like a balance of the masculine and feminine too.
Yes.
But
Yes, yes,
we won't go
yeah.
there. That's another
Little
episode.
Venus and
You know.
Mars.
Well, before we go, I know I'm not gonna hold you too long. I know you are working, and I just want you to share a little bit about what you're working on right now. You look
Ooh,
beautiful, so
thank
you got some
you.
things happening back there.
Things are happening. Things are happening. I'm working on my fourth studio album, my
Oh,
fourth album, which is
come
crazy
on.
to say four. That's beautiful. Although of course, I wish it was like 14, but no, it's
Yeah.
just four.
Hey, you never
Um,
know. Next year, you might kick out like 3 albums in 1 year.
I'm already starting the next one. I'm already the wheels are turning. But
Yes,
I'm old school, so I do believe in taking your time with the music,
yes, that's
making
important.
sure it all resonates and tells your story, or tells a story, even if it's not your story, tell
Yes.
a story. And so so much has come out of me from the pandemic.
Mhm.
Because leading up to the pandemic, I had not released music in 7 plus years. I
Wow.
had done collaborations with other artists, but not anything of my own name.
Yeah.
And since 2020, and having that moment to sit still, it has kind of set off some things for me. So I'm working on my second studio album post COVID,
Okay.
which will be my fourth album in general. And it is from the perspective of some of where my mind was during COVID,
Yeah.
um, things that I was thinking about in isolation.
Yeah.
Um, it's a very moody, fun.
Hmm.
Um, I wanted it to just make you feel. I
Yeah.
don't know whatever it makes you feel. Some of the songs may make you feel a little bit blue. Some of the
Yeah.
songs may make you want to two step and
Yeah.
go to the cookout, and some of them may
I know
make you
you're gonna
want.
have some of that in there.
There's gonna be a little. We're gonna
Put
set it
dance.
off with the cookout. We're gonna set it off with the cookout because it's coming summertime, so it's gonna be set
Yeah.
off with the cookout. But I've always been one to, because of the journalism side, I believe, like there's a part of me that always wants you to have a visual in your mind when you hear my music. And so this particular album is coming from a space where I want you to to have your fascinations opened up, your imagination opened up to see things and to put yourself in the place of some of the lyrics because I don't want it to necessarily to be about me.
Yeah.
I want it to feel very relatable, but the musicians on the album
Hmm.
killing.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I'm a musician's girl because I'm a Gen X girl, so I'm coming up with seeing Rufus and
Right.
seeing Earth, Wind and Fire and
Yeah.
Sade and like bands.
Yeah.
So that's always been my dream to just always be a part of a band. So I
Hmm.
will always have love and respect for musicians because I don't play anything. I play the voice,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and I tinkle a little bit on keys, but the true musicians, horn players and violinists and strings and basses, all that, I admire them. So I really wanted this album to highlight musicianship, as I always do.
Yeah. You
And
know,
this one, that's
thinking
been a
about,
thing.
I love that. I love that. And it made me think about something we just came from. We, both of us, we were at the Go-Go Museum
Yes.
sharing a story about Chuck Brown. When you said musicianship and about the
Yes.
different sounds, I thought about him, this area, and the not only the music that's come from that, but your tell us about your how you came to the Recording Academy during the
Mm.
time when Chuck Brown was there.
Man, it's so wild how time moves because it feels like it's been over 10 years now. I joined the Recording Academy 10 plus years ago, and I was just fascinated with it. And yet again, you are one of the inspirations that inspired and motivated myself and several other artists in DC to join the Recording Academy because a lot of us did not know uh, what it was.
It
We
makes me
know
feel so good because you just doing things, you don't know how things will affect other people.
I mean, literally myself and two other artists had a conversation about how you were the catalyst for us to have a curiosity as to what the Recording Academy is and how
Yeah.
could get involved. And once I did join the Recording Academy, I met so many people, and I happened to have met Tom, who is was Chuck Brown's manager
Yeah.
at the time. I don't want to get his name wrong right now.
Both
Todd,
both single.
yes. I'm getting grown. Yes.
I hope I
He,
got it right.
I remember him being the president at one time. And I also remember uh, another sister, Wendy Cherry, who
Mhm.
was executive director, who was inspiring me to run for the board to become a
Mhm.
governor, and I didn't even understand what that meant. And once I understood that, of course, I my personality is like, okay, I want to jump on the board. I want to be at the table,
Yeah.
and getting to the table and being amongst like at that time Mesa Leak and
Mhm.
um, James McKinney and all these people were, these talented phenomenal individuals were at the table. Um, the funny thing was, I backtrack myself. When before I was interested in getting on the board, and there was no opening yet, and I remember someone reaching out to me and saying, "There's an opening now." Unfortunately for me, but unfortunately for the world of music, the legendary Chuck Brown has passed away, and he was a board member for the DC Grammy chapter. And it opened up this position, and his manager and other folks reached out to me and said, "We think you would be a good fit to fill his space."
Mm.
And to me, that was like, wow. I mean, Chuck Brown, I had just seen him perform on the Capitol Jazz Cruise, and he turned that cruise out. And
Mm.
that was my first go-go experience. So for, years later for him to have passed on and for his seat to be open and
Right.
for people to come to me and say, "We think you would be a good fit." That's an
Speaking,
honor, and that's a moment I'll never forget. And then going to the Go-Go Museum and seeing his face
yeah.
there
And
and
full
being at
circle, your
full circle
president. Your
as president
president.
of the chapter. Wow, man. That's crazy.
It's great. I mean, it's just it's remarkable. It's the journey. It's a testament to your creative spirit as well.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just amazing. What is it like being this? I promise you, this is the last question.
Okay.
Being president of the Recording Academy, what is it like for you, and what do you hope for the music community? I would say.
I love this particular community. I stand strong on what is happening in the DMV musically and creatively. And so my biggest hope is for us to find each other, to continue to find each other and to connect, because I do know in any music culture, whether we're in DC, Miami, wherever, there are bubbles of cultures. There's the blues people, and there's the jazz people, and there's the house heads. Um, but I feel like there's nothing more beautiful than tapping into those communities that may be outside of yourself and learning about them. And so, one of my biggest hopes is that our community becomes even tighter. And we start to find all of these intersections together, and the collaborations grow. And you might have a blues artist, rock the stage with a hip hop artist, or a house artist do something with a jazz artist. And
Mhm.
uplift each other and nurture each other and learn from one another,
Right.
um, and let that lead us to being put on the map a little bit stronger, like the Nashvilles of the world, and the LAs, and the New Yorks. There is something
Have
special
some
in this
recognition.
community. The recognition,
Yeah.
if we can all tap into each other and continue to connect and
Yeah.
to collab, there's no way that it won't happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. I'm here
yeah,
for it.
I'm here for it.
I'm serving with you.
Come on, we serving together, sis. You know what's up. You know what's up. We've been out here, so yeah.
Thank you so much for taking time to speak to me today, and the Parks and Planning for Prince George's County and the Gateway
Yes.
Arts District. We are happy that you're there. Um,
Thank you.
a great deal that you're there, and not just as an artist living, you're an artist leading in this area. So
Yeah,
thank you and kudos.
striving, striving.